Hello and welcome to another episode of Data Lounge, where we try to take a little bit more of a fun and relaxed approach to data. So we have with us today someone that has been with us before and we definitely wanted to have again on our show. We have Jessie. Welcome back. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Fine, thank you very much. Delighted to have you back with us.
I'm happy to be here.
Thank you very much. So last time that we had Jessie, if you had not watched that video yet, take a look, it's on our channel. We're talking about Power Apps and some of the things related to Power Apps, right? Mm-hmm. But today you're coming with Power Apps plus something.
Mm-hmm,
What is that?
So today I'm going to be talking about Power Apps and Power BI and how they integrate together. I'm also going to be using a bit of Power Automate as well, and I'm just really excited about how all these tools work together in this system.
Okay, so we're having like a Power Day all together in a Power session of Data Lounge.
Yes.
Okay,
right.
Good. So what do we have?
So this is some references that I have. So there are some Microsoft articles that kind of explain this in a lot of detail.
Okay.
So if there's any confusion around what we're going to be covering today, then these are a great start as well to go back to.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
And today what we'll do is we'll have a look at how to use the Power Apps visual in Power BI itself.
Okay.
So what this does is you can actually read and write data within the Power BI report and actually refresh that Power BI report as well, which is awesome.
Okay.
We're going to also look at how to use Power Automate to actually refresh a Power BI report as well, because in some instances we can't do that automatically within Power Apps itself. And then we'll use the Power BI visual, this time in Power Apps. So going back.
It's the other way around.
Other way, yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. I see something very interesting there, some very interesting characters. You're going to have to explain that to our hopefully geeky audience a little bit later, right?
Yes, I will do indeed. So we've got these three characters here, and the reason for that is the data set that we're going to actually be using is a bunch of superheroes.
Yes, superheroes, good.
So I thought it would kind of tie in with the power theme and superheroes, there's a trend, there's a
we like
link
that.
So the backend data here, which is a SQL database, has a list of superheroes here. So we've got name, gender, eye color, race, hair color, a bunch of other fields. And you can see we have 201 rows to start with. So what we're going to do is I've connected into a Power BI report. And so when we do connect our data into Power BI, we have two different modes in which we can be in. So we've got the direct query mode, in which we don't actually take a copy of the data, but we're connected directly into the data source itself.
Yes, correct.
And then we also have the import query mode, which is slightly different. So these two ways of connecting into the data, there are differences between them in terms of how we can actually refresh that data set with our Power App. All good?
Good.
Awesome. So in our live query, we have a Power BI report built up here. It's not too fancy. We've got our superheroes here. We've got our 201 that we're expecting. We've got a list. We've got a little chart here. But more importantly now, in the desktop version, we can actually bring in this Power App tile.
Okay.
Right. So this can actually be brought in either in the desktop or in the web service as well. So either is fine.
Good.
And so now, to start building this Power App, we have a couple of options. So first we're going to drag in some fields, and that will actually allow us to start building, or it's just going to break.
Okay. Or it just breaks. That's it. Good.
So we need to pause.
So, meanwhile, in Gotham City, we did have some technical trouble, and it was related to networking. Okay, so now we're back. Hopefully it's fixed. So, you see what happened here? What happened? We had a connectivity problem, right?
Yeah, we were actually in the wrong IP. So we switched our IP addresses in order to start our demo.
Good.
And we forgot to switch our database settings to actually allow that IP to access the data.
So important. Yes, when you are making demos that people are going to watch, don't forget to double check your security and your firewalls. Firewalls are good in your SQL Server databases. So let's try it again.
Yes, let's try this all again. So we can drag a visual into here, and as I said, we start and we bring in a few fields to get us started. So this actually starts allowing us to start building this Power App in Power BI. Now I'm just going to switch to this environment here, just because that's where I'm going to be building.
Okay.
But now I've got two choices. I can choose an application or I can create new. Now, depending on which of these you choose, slightly different behavior does happen. So what we're going to do for this part is we're going to create new.
Okay.
Right? And we're going to go into Power App Studio and it's going to ask us, we're stepping out. Are you sure you want to step out? And we're going to say, okay. So we're going to open up. Just give that a second.
Everything's ready, loading. It's still loading.
Still loading. There you go. Right, so when we first land on the screen, it's going to create a few components on the screen for us. We don't actually want those, so we're going to get rid of those. And we do need to bring our data source back in.
Okay.
Into here, so let's click on data sources and connectors, and it's the SQL data source here.
Okay.
And bring in our table.
Good.
Here's info. Now, you would have noticed that actually in this Power App now, we have this Power BI integration that's appeared.
Okay.
Now, that appears by clicking in that Power Apps visual within Power BI.
Within Power BI?
Actually,
Oh, it sends it over to Power Apps and
right.
it gets automatically enabled here in the screen.
And that's going to allow us to do some fun stuff. So, first of all, I'm just going to create a very simple edit form.
Okay.
And we're going to keep it really simple. So we're just going to add in, once I've selected the data source here, we're going to add in two fields. So I'm just going to ask for a height and a name from our user, which means they can actually create a new superhero within our application. So we'll remove that. And of course now we need a few commands to actually save the data, into our database. I'm going to create two new buttons here, and I'll explain what they do. And the great thing is all of this language is going to be very simple. So we'll do a new form. So whenever we come on this, we need to tell it that we want a new form. And our form is called Form 1. Of course, we would rename everything when doing this for real. And we have this formula called Submit Form, which submits that data. Okay. And let's call that new and submit so that we don't forget.
Okay.
And we'll just give it a little title and
superheroes.
Make it not too ugly. We're just going to put a few things in there.
Okay.
And I'm going to put that there, and I'm just going to add a little image. Oh, not a camera.
Not a camera.
Let's go for an image. In the background. And I'm going to pick one from here, just to bring our app to life a little bit more. There you go. And the very last thing I'm going to do is change the theme. And that's how you create an app in less than 2 minutes.
Wow, that was really quick.
It was. So let's test it out.
Okay,
right,
let's
so
test
it's very
it.
simple. So we're going to click on new. We'll give this a height. We'll give it a name. Any names that you have for a superhero?
Dominic. Dominic is a great name for a superhero. Let's have Dominic.
Name for a superhero. Let's go for Dominic. So let's check our database. Let's see that we've got our record in here. And we go down.
We should have a Dominic there at the bottom. There we go.
We have a Dominic. Of course, we didn't specify everything else. We've just got the height and the name. So that's okay. Now, the thing we can do now with this Power BI integration is once we've submitted our form, we can call this Power BI integration dot refresh.
Okay.
Right? And what this is going to do is once it's in our Power BI report, it will actually refresh the underlying live query data and populate it immediately.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Just like that? We did.
Yep, exactly. And so when we're in direct query, our report is in a direct source anyway.
Yes, correct.
The thing is, you do need to click around the page or you need to refresh the browser in order to get the most up-to-date data.
Yes.
This formula is going to bring back the most up-to-date data as soon as you click submit.
Okay.
So let's see how it all works out. So let's publish this one.
Okay.
I'm going to call it app07 and save. Just give that a second.
Okay.
And yeah, we don't need to share it, we're okay. And then we come along back to our Power BI report.
Yes.
And it's thinking about it, and it's getting ready. So it's picking up all the data that we've just put in there.
Oh, and it's detecting automatically that App 7 was the one that we wanted because we told him, we started the whole process directly from here, from within Power BI.
Exactly.
We're automatically creating, it's taking us to the place where we can actually create the Power App, and it's showing up already here.
Yes, exactly. And we've got a little typo though, but it's all right.
No problem.
We've got knee. We'll know that that's new. That's okay. And let's publish that. So I'm going to publish it into this workspace here. And we're going to go along and find our report, which is this live version here.
Okay, let's see.
So let's see if it's caught up. So not quite. Let's just see if it's...
Let's try to save it again.
Yeah, no, it has. It's just...
Okay, so the lasso of truth from the Amazons has allowed us to find out what actually happened here. So we had a problem saving, right?
We did.
Okay, so let's try it again.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and publish that.
Okay.
And that's okay. So
we're replacing the data set, we're publishing.
Because we already had the report. And now I'm going to open up
live again.
That live report.
There it is.
Our Power App is there. Yay.
Our App 7, good.
So now, as a user, you can actually come in here, share this with your users, and here's the point about sharing now.
Okay.
So in order for them to actually access this Power App, you do need to share the Power App with them as well as the Power BI report.
So if I'm a person that, I don't know, I'm starting to work with Power BI and Power Apps, if I need to make sure that my users also have access not only to my Power BI tenant, but also to my Power App world, let's put it this way.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
that's
good.
right. Yeah.
Okay.
So now we can come in and we can ask our users, and just to bring this to life a little bit, because I don't know if superheroes are going to be used that much in the workplace by people that use Power BI. But in reality, if you do have a set of data that you want your users to actually interact with, or maybe add an action, or go away and maybe there's a reference data set that they need to change, we can actually give them the access to do this straight away within the app. And that's where we actually bring it to life. Perfect. So let's give this superhero a height of 100. What should we name this superhero?
This is Laura North. Laura North. We can do Laura North. Another superhero.
Laura North.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
We have North Star, for X-Men people. Yeah, there we go.
Now, if we submit that, you see straight away our count has come up to 203. So we haven't even had to do anything, and now we have our Laura North. Right here.
That's brilliant.
Okay. So now let's think about it a different way. We have an import data set now. Yeah, so with import, unfortunately, that Power BI refresh does not appear automatically. Okay. And that's also the case if you choose an existing app within a live query data set.
Okay, because when we were in the previous one, we created a brand new one.
Exactly.
We saw you like super productive, ultra fast, flash-like speed, right? Create and put in an app together.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
good.
But of course, you might have actually created that Power App before, and you might just want to connect that Power App and then actually refresh the data set.
Okay.
So let's try this in the import. So we bring in an app again in the same way, and we'll bring in a couple of fields again just to get that kick started.
Okay.
But this time, I'm going to pick the right environment here. We're going to choose an application.
An existing one.
Yeah, that's right. So there's a couple here, and I'm going to pick this one before that was created in the past, and we're going to add that, and we're going to go to the studio just to have a look at it and see what's actually within that app.
Okay.
Just give that a second.
Getting things ready.
And this has happened before, so if it doesn't open up straight away, then just open and then click on.
Open it up manually,
and it will still connect. Oh, I have it open already. That's okay. We'll leave that one and override that one.
There we go.
So once we get in, we're going to have two options now in order to actually refresh this data set. So a bit of a clue there. We've got submit using Power BI Connector or submit using Flow.
Okay.
Right? So there's two different ways in which we can actually refresh this data set. The first one is there is a data source called Power BI. So there is a Power BI connector for Power Apps that we can utilize.
Okay.
So by clicking that, I can get a new connection, but I've got one already in the same way. So I do that. And if I just start from here, we have our submit form, which we had.
The same one we used before, right?
Exactly. Okay. Same one which we used before. This Power BI refresh dataset is the new formula that's appeared because of our Power BI.
Because of the Power Connector. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. And if we hover over, it's asking us for two things. It's asking us for a group ID, which looks like a load of numbers.
Yeah.
And numbers and letters. And we've got a dataset ID, which is a series of numbers and letters. Now, how do we find these? Because
these are the GUIDs. These are not the normal ones. What are
exactly.
those?
So what we do is we do need to actually publish our report to begin with, so we know where that is.
Okay.
We go into our workspaces, we find our actual data set. So this is a really good tip here. You need to find the data set here, and not the workbook. That's a very easy mistake, or the report.
Okay.
So you click on the data set here, and it will open up here. And actually, in the browser up here, you have groups.
Yes.
So that's the first part.
Okay.
And the second part is the data set.
That's the second parameter. That's okay. Perfect.
Exactly. So now we can copy and paste these and bring them into our application. So that's already done here, just to save a little bit of time. So actually now, when we click that submit button, it's going to do that refresh in the background for our import Power BI.
Oh, so this will trigger a refresh operation in Power BI, like the ones we normally schedule, right?
Yes,
exactly. It will be doing that.
Yes.
Okay, good, perfect.
Okay. Now the second option uses this refresh. Okay, and this is actually a flow. So we are going to create this flow.
Okay. So this is the same one that was known before as Power Flow, Power Automate now, right?
Yeah, it's called Power Automate.
Now it's Power Automate. Don't say it rightly, or certain people that might watch this video might get sensitive about the branding at Microsoft.
I'm still going to create a flow. So we call it My Flows, Team Flows, Business Process Flows, but it's in Power Automate.
Power Automate.
That's the new thing now. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to create a new flow from a template.
Okay.
So go New Template, and I'll select this Power Apps button. Give it a better name, so let's call it Refresh 7, so we remember which one
it's going to be everything is 7, App 7, everything is 7.
Lucky number 7. And now we have a few different things we can do, and we're actually going to pick this connector in Flow now, called Refresh a Dataset.
That's it.
And now from here, the UI actually gives us a little bit of a better user experience.
Wow.
We can actually select our workspace and then select our data set, which is our import data set, and hit save.
It's fantastic, the integration across the three products, right? It's like the Power family, in a way, very the Incredibles-like, right? Because it's definitely, it's much easier. If we do it directly here and we say, hey, I'm doing it with Power Automate, it automatically connects to Power BI. It shows you what you have available. It's quite well integrated. You don't have to go start scratching for complex GUIDs.
Yeah. It's really great. I mean, whenever you want to do something in one of the tools and you think that another one of the tools is better, just go straight there.
Just go with it. Okay.
Okay, so let's come over to our app again.
Okay.
We're going to use this one. And that's automatically there, right? But we don't want that there because we're going to use a flow that we just created.
The new one. Yes.
Now here's a bit of a niggle. To actually get the flow into here, you need to attach it to something, right? So the way of attaching it is you just bring in a button, right? And you click on this action up here and then click on this Power Automate.
Oh, okay.
And we click on that and it will bring up our Refresh 07.
Wow.
And it will just do its magic.
The integration is fantastic across the three different products.
It's great. And then that's there.
Okay.
But we don't want it there. We want it after our submit.
Okay.
So we'll bring it into our submit and do
that. That's it. Okay.
Yeah. So now we can actually test both of these in one app. So we can make sure both are working.
Let's do that.
So let's save this and head over to our desktop again. We'll just publish that one as well, so we have the latest app. And come over to import. And it's already got our app there. It's already there. So that's great.
Perfect.
And we'll publish this one up, and then we'll save.
And let's see what happens. Yes, replacing
so you've got to get your superhero names ready.
There we go. There we go. We're gonna start throwing some people under the bus again.
We've got two more superheroes to come up with. So I'm going to open up that report. And our app is getting ready. Right. So superhero.
Superhero.
Let's give us a height of 200.
200, there we go. And the height is going to be huge. So let's say 2,000.
2,000?
Yeah, it's
as a height, right. Okay,
as a height, yes.
2,000,
As a height,
yeah.
yes, it's a gigantic superhero
right.
here. Good.
What's the name?
And the name, I think they're inverted there, right? We have name 2,000.
Yeah, true.
So, name. Mega Rahil.
Mega Rahil.
Yes, let's do Mega Rahil. Good.
Right, let's submit it using our Power BI connector.
This is the connector. This is not the one that we just created with Automate.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, let's see if we get the green light lantern. Okay, as you can see, being live with all these demos has been kryptonite for our session this time. So let's take a look what happened this time.
So it did refresh. We are just being a little bit impatient here. So we're going to go have a look at that refresh.
Okay, let's take a look.
Just to make sure that it's there. So we go into here and we pick the right one and scheduled refresh. So for keynotes that have been looking at the time here.
Yes.
It was refreshed about 2 minutes ago, which is correct.
Yes, perfect. Okay, so that actually where we was just a bit impatient.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
Fine,
of course,
perfect.
your report does take a little while to refresh.
To refresh, yes.
So it's not going to be immediate in that sense. But now let's try the other version. So let's create a new superhero.
So this is gonna be height. It's gonna be 10. So
10,
we have Mega Rahil, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna have Ant James.
Ant James.
There we go, Ant James.
Okay.
Good.
All right, so let's submit this one.
Yes.
And this time we're going to be a little bit more patient.
So
we had 204.
Correct.
So we're going to refresh the browser and just see. So you do have to refresh the browser in the import.
There it is.
And there you are. You've got your 205.
205. Can we check that they're actually there? Can we
of course.
actually browse?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can have a look here. And we can go all the way to the bottom. And we have Dominic, Lara North, Mega Rahil, and Ant James.
Perfect. Good. They're superheroes of the day.
Awesome. So, quick recap.
It's fantastic, this. It's really cool.
Awesome.
It's really cool. We've been able to actually integrate so seamlessly and activate probably one of the most interesting cases of this, as you were saying before. Obviously, we're making it cool here with superheroes, right? Because we're geeks and we love superheroes. Unlike some people behind the cameras that people don't know and you don't want to know. But in reality, one of the things is that when we're talking about data, one of the functionalities that is highly requested is, hey, I want to write back. I want to modify this data. I want to add new entries. Obviously not on all the systems, but this is a fantastic way to do it because before you had to create from scratch your own ASP application, ASP.NET application, and publish it and deal with if you were hosting this in on-premise as well, you had to deal with all the complexity of a web server. Now it's just there. It's an app, drag and drop the way you just did it.
Yep, and it's made an incredible impact in the projects that we've been working on as well. It's made a huge impact for our users. So just to recap, we know that Power Apps can be added in the desktop or in the service. Power BI integration only appears if you open the app from the report server. This sends data from Power BI to Power Apps, as we said. Power BI integration.refresh only appears for a new Power App in direct query mode.
Okay.
Right. And we also use this Power BI refresh within Power Automate as well. So that's that one.
Fantastic.
Now we're going to have a quick look at how to bring Power BI into Power Apps.
Okay, good.
So to start this off, we do actually need to create a dashboard. So only dashboard tiles can be brought into Power Apps.
Oh, so for now, it's only tiles. I cannot have a report.
Yes.
I cannot have a report, only dashboard tiles.
Exactly.
Okay, good.
There are certain workarounds you can do to bring in parts of a report, but for this session, we're just going to look at the inbuilt tile.
Okay, perfect. Let's take a look.
So from here, I've got my Power BI import, and maybe I want to bring in, let's say, this visual down here.
Okay.
First thing I need to do is actually pin it to an existing or new dashboard.
Okay, good.
So for our demo, let's use an existing one. So one word of advice here is that when you do pin the visual and then open it with your Power App, there is a little bit of a lag.
Okay.
So for that purpose, I'm going to pin it to a visual in a dashboard in here, but I may use a already pinned visual just to speed that up. Perfect. So pin it into here, and there we are. And we can go to our dashboard. We can see there's already one there as well, and this one will be ready. And we've got another one here as well. So we can come over to our superhero application.
Yes.
And we will have a new screen. And we will bring in a Power BI tile.
Okay, wow, once again, it's right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's immediate. So we can pick up the dashboard that we were looking at, and we'll pick up this one. So as you can see, we've got that one tile here, which was already there before. And you can see, there we are. We can bring in a tile and actually bring that information in straight away. And that will, of course, refresh.
Okay. Wow, it's so straightforward. It's so straightforward. So we've done the whole journey, right? So we've taken Power Apps, we put it into Power BI, right? The other way around, now we're putting Power BI into Power Apps.
Yeah.
What are some of the considerations here in terms of security, for instance?
So with security, we do need to share Power BI and Power Apps.
Okay.
And one word about Power Apps, when you do share connections, you are sharing the ability for others to actually utilize that connection.
Okay.
So you need to be quite careful. There are ways to get around that, using authentication, using different environments. So that's really important.
Okay.
Just another word on this one. So we can actually filter this tile based on information within the actual Power App. So you bring your person in.
Yes.
So in this example, I'm going to just pick up all the publishers, and I basically want my tile to filter on the publisher that I pick. Right?
Okay.
And of course, this could be, I think it's not spelled like that.
So it's not only a visual experience, I can also, it seems we're also able to interact with the data that is within the tile.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So now I can look at my different publishers.
Oh, wow.
But now it hasn't connected to the tile just yet. And for that, what we do is we have this tile URL, which is basically connecting to that dashboard.
Okay.
Now, what we can do is I'm going to pull up a formula that was pre-written, just to make sure that I don't make any mistakes.
Okay.
And what this can do is by using, this on the end, what it's doing is it's quite readable. So it's filtering on Heroes Info, which is our table within Power BI.
Okay.
It's filtering on the publisher column. And it's saying, make that equal to this drop down here, which in our example, it's called drop down 2. So we'll just call it drop down 2. And that will then filter based on that. So that's going to go up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So there's a few things to note about this. Only columns and tables without spaces can be filtered.
Okay.
And only textual fields.
Only textual fields. Yeah. Okay. But it's providing a little bit of a flavor of Power BI-ish interaction within Power Apps with analytical data.
Yeah, exactly. So just to recap, only dashboard tiles can be shared at the moment. Ensure that the Power BI tile is also shared with the user, so sharing the Power App is not enough. Column names can have no spaces, only text fields can be used. And the Microsoft documentation tells us that only 3 tiles can be loaded at any one time. So we do see a performance impact when we try and use too many tiles within our Power App. I guess the key with all this data that we've been talking about today is that these tools should not replace each other. They should give a flavor of what there is out there. So actually by clicking on that Power App tile within the report, it will take you to your Power BI report.
Okay.
So
there you go.
That's where we actually bring in that link.
Perfect. So it's allowing me, it's giving us a path to move graciously, to move in a very elegant fashion across the different tools.
Yeah, that's right.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. What else? Do you have anything else prepared for us today?
Just a very last word.
Okay,
we've already
good.
spoken about it on security, so we're not going to go over that.
But it's always important to re-emphasize security without a doubt.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a joy. Okay. We definitely managed to get quite a few things, quite a few pieces of the power word all together. I think that it's very powerful to be able to see all that power all put up together. So Jessie, thank you very much for being with us once again. This was absolutely brilliant.
Thank you for having me.
And for all of you back at home, at the office, in the train, with the children behind, thank you very much for joining us one more time on the Data Lounge. And changing franchises, we hope you do a little bit of Thanos, go back in time and watch our videos once again. Thank you everyone. See you next episode. Bye.